Attention, Star Cadets! Stand by for action! Captain Paxar says prepare to travel time and soar through space while facing the worst villains of the past and the future. Stand by for Captain Paxar's Star Cadet Hour.
Greetings, Star Cadets. I, Captain Paxar, am speaking to you from the secret headquarters of the Interdimensional Peace Force. Today's mission is as follows. Tom Corbett, Space Cadet, and the crew of the Polaris are sent to retrieve a deep space probe trapped in a deadly orbit. Stand by for action as Tom Corbett, Space Cadet, is in pursuit of the Deep Space Projectile.
Today, the famous Kraft TV cameraman focuses on outer space for another exciting adventure in the world beyond tomorrow.
Control deck to all stations. Stand by to raise ship. Blast off, -5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0!
Kraft Caramel, the delicious quick energy treat, presents Tom Corbett, Space Cadet, starring Frankie Thomas. This is the age of the conquest of space, where today Tom Corbett and his unit mates prepare for a dangerous mission in outer space, the pursuit of the Deep Space Projectile.
To shut that thing off.
2 seconds.
Now, you guys, don't you appreciate good music?
That is not good music.
DJ, it's not even good noise. Turn it off.
Oh, you show a fine lot of gratitude. There I go to all the trouble of hooking up a special recording system to our intercom to provide a little entertainment, and you guys get sore.
DJ, you're going to be sore if you don't turn it off.
Right now.
Okay, okay. I'm trying.
Blasted, what did you do to this thing anyway?
I don't know. I can't remember. I hooked it up to the main intercom.
You didn't change the circuits, too, did you?
Probably did, Tom. Open the service panel.
Oh, I did it.
DJ, you ever do anything like that?
He won't get a chance to do that.
All right, let's have it. Now, what's going on up here? And this had better be good. If you've ruined any of that gear...
Sir, it was an experiment.
Yes, sir. We were conducting a test, testing the range of high-fidelity frequencies, sir.
Yeah, as a matter of fact, we reached a maximum of 27,000 cycles.
Oh, you did?
Yeah.
Well, for your information, Thistle, it would take a trained ear to hear frequencies of over 15,000 cycles. Now, is this what you call obeying orders? I told you to get this ship ready for immediate blastoff.
We are, sir. Fully provisioned for a flight into deep space.
Well, then get down on the control deck for briefing. Cadet Monroe will tell you what this operation is all about.
Cadet Monroe, sir?
Yes, Alex Monroe. He's an astrophysics research student that we're taking along. Well, get below. We blast off in 30 minutes.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, I'll stop and think.
Oh, is this...
Yes, sir.
As soon as we are out in space, you're going to clean up this mess.
Yes, sir.
And no more music.
Aye, aye, sir. Is that it?
That's it. As you can see, it's a relatively simple flight, right out into deep space. The Sirius and its planetary system 11 light years away. Of course, we'll use hyperdrive. I presume you all know how to fly a ship on hyperdrive?
Of course, Monroe.
Oh, what do you think we are, primary school cadets?
I wouldn't know, Thistle. Now, when we get to Sirius, our job is to locate and reclaim a recording projectile that's orbiting around the star.
Recording projectile? What's that?
Well, it's a small robot rocket, TJ, equipped with instruments which can automatically record information on any area it travels through.
I helped build the projectile. That's why I'm being sent on this flight. Now, are there any questions?
No, seems like a simple enough operation.
Wait a minute. What's this projectile doing out there in the first place? I mean, why would anybody want to know anything about Sirius?
Well, it seems the Solar Guard wants to know, Astro. This is the first step in establishing an outpost in the planetary system. I trust that answers your question.
Yeah, sure.
Anything else?
Yeah.
What?
What's fusing your tubes, Monroe? You've been giving us a needle ever since we came down here.
Hey, easy, T.
Oh, just because he's a big brain type doesn't mean he can treat us like earthworms,
I'm
you know.
sure he doesn't mean to.
When we get to know each other a little better, why?
Corbett, let's not force any false friendships. I'm not interested.
Monroe, we're making a long flight. We've got to work together.
And that's all. As far as I'm concerned, you just three are ordinary space jockeys assigned to take me out into deep space. No more. I don't want you to promote anything else.
Oh, we won't, Monroe. That's for sure.
Oh, and, one thing more. This is my project. That means I'm second in command of this ship right under Captain Strong. Now, you follow my orders, or else I will make your lives miserable. Understand? Now, let's get this ship ready for blastoff.
Well, did I say this was going to be a simple operation?
Yeah, sure did.
Well, I take it back, fellas. We're going to have our hands full on this job.
We'll see more of today's exciting adventure very soon. Right now, though, our young craft friends, Candy and Casey, are getting ready for a party. They fixed up the cutest combination of refreshment and party favorite cookies. A circus parade that you can have a lot of fun making, and everybody will have fun eating. These are the ingredients you should ask Mother to get for you. Some small, plain sugar cookies, a box of animal crackers, and a bag of those wonderful Kraft Dairy Fresh caramels. Now, the kids are unwrapping half a pound. That's 28 Kraft caramels in the top of the double boiler. Next, they add 2 tablespoons of water, like that. Now, as usual, when anything involves a hot stove, ask Mother to stir the caramels over boiling water till they're melted to a creamy, luscious sauce like this. Then put a dab of caramel sauce on each cookie, just like this. Spread it a little with the back of your teaspoon or a spatula if Mother has a small one like ours. Then, right away before the caramel has time to cool, stand an animal cracker in the middle of each cookie, like that. Wouldn't these make slick favors for a party? And don't you forget that they taste, oh, just great. As far as that goes, Kraft caramels always taste great, whether you make them into fancy fare like Candy and Casey's Circus Parade cookies or eat them plain. So be sure to ask Mother to get a bag of Kraft Dairy Fresh caramels next time she's out shopping.
Control deck. Listen, we're on direct course to Sirius. We hold this present speed, we'll cross the orbit of Pluto in about 27 minutes.
Right, and that's when we open up on hyperdrive.
Yeah, we're all lined up for it. What time's it order if I go off watch now? Everything's set on automatic.
Sure thing, TJ.
Oh, thank you.
Thistle,
What do you want, Monroe?
come with me. I need your help.
Oh, look, I just pulled a 12-hour watch, boy. I'm going to sack you.
You can sleep later. This is important.
Yeah, well, so's my sleep.
Not to me. I need your help right now, and I'm ordering you to give it to me.
Oh, you are, huh? I got a hot space flash for you, Mr. Big Brain.
Now, you cut that kind of talk, Thistle. I don't like it.
Yeah, well, that's 2 space blasts and bad. I'm sick of
What's going on up here? I can hear you two on the control deck. What is this, Thistle?
Sir, I just pulled a 12-hour watch. Monroe comes up here and orders me to do some work for him.
Orders? I was forced to, sir. Believe me, I've tried to be cooperative, but unless you're a member of the Polaris unit, you get no assistance whatsoever. Did you bother to find out what it was that Cadet Monroe wanted?
Oh, no, sir.
He didn't give me a chance to tell him, sir. He arbitrarily refused. Well, did you bother to find out if Cadet Corbett was busy? Or Astro? Did you take into consideration the fact that he has just pulled a 12-hour hitch? No, sir. It's just a few minutes' work. I see. Well, we're going to put a stop to this right now. I want cooperation on this trip from everyone, and I mean cooperation. Now, you will do whatever you can to help Cadet Monroe. And you will take into consideration the crew's working schedule. Is that clear?
Yes, sir.
Now, you can pass this on to Corbett and Astro. You cadets are going to get along on this mission, or I'll know the reason why. Well, Vessel, you heard the order. Cooperation.
Check in.
Yeah, Tom, go ahead.
I'm getting a low reading on the hyperdrive pumps. Check it, will you?
Right away.
Astro, come with me. I need your help. Heavy work.
Sorry, Monroe, I can't leave the power deck.
Put it on automatic.
Are you space happy? On a flight like this, 1 misfire from these hyperdrive reactors, and we'd be 1,000,000 miles off course.
If you've done your job properly, the reactors won't misfire.
Oh, wait a minute.
Don't argue with me. You coming, or do I go to Captain Strong? You would, too, wouldn't you? What do you think? I'll give you 3 minutes to get up topside. No more.
Oh, Tom, check in.
Go ahead, Astro.
I just switched the power deck controls into you. Take over, will you?
What's the idea?
Oh, the big brain wants cooperation.
At ease, Star Cadets! Captain Paxar's Star Cadet Hour will be back in a moment! Stand by for action, Star Cadets! We now return to Captain Paxar's Star Cadet Hour!
You're everything a space cadet should be. Your work is excellent. But those unit mates of yours, Astro and Thistle, why do you spend so much time wasted on them?
Well, I'll tell you, Monroe. A crew is only as good as all of its members.
But these guys are just rocket jockeys.
Well, Astro, TJ, and myself make up a crew. And if one of us flops, the crew flops.
Well, if you believe that, you're no better than they are.
Well, let me tell you something, Monroe. As far as I'm concerned, there's nobody on the power deck that's better than Astro, and TJ is the best astrogator in space. Me? I'm the ordinary rocket jockey. All I do is point this ship and let her go. And if that's your idea of what a space cadet should be, you better come out from behind those books and wise up.
Well, if you really believe that, you are no better than they are.
For once, you're absolutely right.
This will about another orbit closer to Sirius.
Right on, bridge to control deck. Check in, quick.
Go ahead, TJ.
I found it, Tom.
Great, where is it?
It's in the northwest quadrant, just passing through Sector 12. It's practically on top of Sirius.
Right, stand by for orders.
How did it get so far off course, sir? Well, must have encountered resistance on its planned orbit around Sirius. Oh, what kind of resistance, sir? Oh, I suppose you'd call it solar exosphere. It's something like the corona of our own sun, but denser. So you see, when the projectile hit this resistance, it could no longer maintain its orbit and began spiraling into Sirius, getting closer and closer. Well, how close is it now, sir? Much too close, I'm afraid. In its present course, it should take the projectile about 3 hours to make a complete circle. Of course, it will lose 5,000 miles each time.
Well, sir, how much time does that give us to go in after it?
I would say no more than 6 hours, Corbett.
It's a mighty narrow margin of safety, sir.
I'm aware of that, Monroe, but I don't intend to lose that information without a try. We're going in after the projectile, we're going to couple on, and we're going to drag it out of there if we can. All right, Corbett, tell Thistle to plot an intersecting orbit and then pour on the neutrons.
Aye, aye, sir. Hello, TJ. Give me a heading over to that projectile, and then brace yourself. This is going to be the fastest and the hottest trip the Polaris ever made.
check in.
Go ahead, Astro.
Tom, I hope you're not going to want much more speed than this. These hyperdrive reactors are getting pretty hot now.
Well, we're in parallel orbit with the projectile now, Astro. Hold this speed while we couple on.
Right.
All hands, stand by. Coming alongside. Energize couplers, Corbett. Couplers ready, sir. Everybody brace. We're hooking on.
Are secure. Projectile is tight alongside.
Nice work, Corbett. This'll get to the control deck on the double. Corbett, while we're on the projectile, you and Astro see what you can do about pushing it out of this orbit.
We're going aboard, sir?
Well, can you think of any other way to get that information, Monroe?
Oh, no, sir, but I thought we'd try and push the projectile further away from...
Well, we can't count on being able to do that, and I don't want to lose that information. Oh, Thistle.
Yes, sir.
You're going aboard the projectile with Monroe and me. We're going to bring over the recording information.
Aye, sir.
And the airlocks are in conjunction, so we won't need spacesuits. Let's go.
Aye, sir. After you, Mr. Brain.
Hello, Astro.
Yeah, Tom.
The skipper and the fellows are going aboard that projectile now. Start bringing back the information. While they're there, we're going to try and haul the projectile away from Sirius.
Oh, okay, but take it easy, will you? These pumps have got quite a load on them now.
Astro, you worry too much. Okay, let's go. Full blast on starboard steering rockets.
Oh, aye!
Boy, not much room in this thing, is there?
These rockets weren't made for carrying passengers. Where's that recording equipment, Monroe?
Outside, sir, to the access chamber.
Right.
Who's that? Tom's just trying to push this thing. What's the matter, Brainy? You scared?
All right, stow that, Thistle. Let's get to work.
Come on, snap out of it, Monroe. We got work to do.
I'm coming. I'm coming.
Hello, Astro. We're going to need a heavier blast. It's only changed course 2 degrees.
Oh, I can't give it to you, Tom. These pumps won't take it.
Oh, just a short burst, Astro. Not more than 2 seconds. That's all I need.
Well, okay. Keep your fingers crossed. Here goes.
Okay, Astro. I think that's doing it. We're swinging around. We're got... Hey!
Tom, what's wrong?
What happened? The couplers have given way. Cut all power.
Right.
Corbett to Captain Strong. Corbett to Captain Strong. Come in. Come in, sir.
Where is it, Tom?
Way back there, to port.
Hey, how'd we get so far ahead of it?
All that power we were using. Hello, Corbett to Captain Strong. Can you hear me, sir? Come in.
Captain Strong and Corbett. Go ahead, Corbett.
Sir, are you all right?
Well, yes, Thistle and I are all right, but we can't find Monroe. He must be trapped in the access chamber below. What happened?
Well, the projector tore loose, sir, when we were giving it that blast burst trying to change course. You're drifting far behind us now, sir.
Plenty far, Tom, and she's still spiraling towards Sirius.
Well, listen, we have enough oxygen for about 8 hours. If you can help us do it, but I don't want any foolish heroics, Corbett. And that's an order.
Yes, sir. Spaceman's luck, Captain. And transmission. Okay, Astro. Well, the only thing we can do now is this. Monroe, where did you come from?
You got away just in time.
How could you? It all happened so quickly.
Well, I was standing next to the airlock, and I heard the projectile start to break away.
That's impossible. You would have been blown right out into space. There wasn't enough time.
Well,
Oh, yes, there was, Tom. There was plenty of time. Because he left that projectile before there was any trouble, you yellow space.
No, Astro, leave him alone.
I ought to tear you apart. You're kicking out on TJ and the skipper.
Cut it out! Now, fighting isn't going to help now. TJ and the skipper are falling into the sun, and we've only got just 5 hours to get them out. And if I have to put you both in the brig and do it myself, I will.
Okay, Tom, I'm sorry.
I don't know what happened, Corbett. I lost my...
Never mind that now. Now, listen, Astro. You stand by for emergencies and repair those couplers. Monroe, you plot another intersecting course between the projectile and us. We're going to pull Captain Strong and TJ out of the sun. We're going to go in after them.
That's the last load, Captain Strong.
All right, good. Now, when Corbett gets here, we'll have everything we need, and this projectile can drift into the sun with no important loss.
I hope it gets here soon. It's getting awful hot in here.
It'll be a lot hotter before long.
So you think we should try to contact the Polaris again? It's been almost 3 hours since we talked to
Well,
Tom.
I can try, but these belt communicators don't have much range. Hello, Strong to Corbett. Come in, please. Come in, Corbett. Come in.
Corbett to Captain Strong. Can you read me, sir? Come in. Come in, Captain.
It's useless, Corbett. We're too close to Sirius. It's blocking transmission.
Oh, have you figured out that course to intercept them?
Yes, it's coming around toward our present position again. We'll have to move fast.
What's the story, Tom?
I don't know yet, Astro. Listen, how long can we sustain emergency speed?
Not too long. How much time do you need?
Well, enough to catch a projectile, match its speed, and still be able to pull out again if we don't make contact.
Still figuring the safety margins, brains?
Still that,
I know
Astro.
how you fellas feel, and I don't blame you, but I know what I'm talking about. If we can't catch the projectile by this point here, we're done for. If we miss at this point, we can at least pull out and try again.
We won't miss.
It's more important we can't. The closer we are to the sun, the hotter it gets. TJ and the skipper must feel like they're inside an oven already.
Right, so we got to do it this time or not at all.
Right.
Getting it pretty close.
Now listen, we're all going to do this together. And if you want out, let me know now.
Well, wait a minute, Tom. What do you mean if he wants out?
If we want to risk our lives, Astro, it's our business. But I'm not going to be responsible for his.
How much choice do I?
Oh, yes, you do. You can take the jet boat. We'll load it up with supplies, send out a distress alert on our long-range transmitter, and you can be picked up by a rescue ship.
Well,
Thanks, but I'll stick it out.
All right. Let's hit it, Monroe. You plot the best position to meet that projectile as it comes around. Astro, stand by on your power deck. We're going to play a little game of galactic hide-and-seek.
Cadet Corbett, acknowledge, please. Captain Strong to Cadet Corbett, acknowledge.
Oh, it's no use. We must be so close to Sirius now, all transmission is being blocked off.
I wish that heat was blocked off, too.
So you really think...
What?
How do you think Tom and Astro can pull us out of this mess?
I've been thinking about that for a long time, Thistle. I'm afraid I don't know the answer.
yeah, Tom.
The projectile is coming around. We blast in less than a minute. Now, have you fixed those couplers?
How long do I have?
Not more than 10 minutes.
I'm afraid I'm not going to do it in time. Somebody's going to have to go topside on the hull and make the connections by hand.
Okay, I'll take care of that. Monroe, check in. What's our position and where is the projectile?
It's coming around now. Open her up, Tom. Pour it on.
Right. Okay, Astro. Let her rip. Check in, Astro.
Yeah, Tom. Are we catching up with the projectile?
You bet we are. Hold this speed. Monroe, check in.
Go ahead, Corbett.
Come on down here and take over. I've got to get into a spacesuit and go topside and make that connection.
I can't come down, Corbett.
What do you mean you can't?
I'm out on the hull.
What?
I'm waiting to make that connection.
A connection, but you can't.
Do you think you rocket jockeys can do everything? Give a brain a chance.
Okay. Spaceman's luck, Monroe.
Thanks. I'll need it.
Corbett to Captain Strong. Come in, sir. Come in.
Captain Strong to Corbett, go ahead.
We're coming alongside, sir. Stand by to abandon projectile.
Oh, with pleasure, Corbett, with pleasure.
Hello, Astro.
Yeah, Tom.
Steady now. Stand by to match speeds and couple on.
Where are they, sir?
Steady, Thistle.
Taking them so long.
Right, let's go.
Hello, Monroe. Is that connection secure?
As I can make it. What about the airlocks?
Valero, TJ and the skipper should be aboard any second
We
now.
better hurry. It's awfully hot out here. Tom, TJ, and the skipper just came aboard.
Good. All right, Monroe. Release the couplers. Let the projectile go.
You bet.
Astro, stand by on starboard steering rockets. We're getting out of here.
I'm with you, pal. Hello, Tom. Couplings are released. The projectile's drifting.
All right. You get into the airlock. Astro, full blast on steering rockets. Let's get out of this furnace. I'm getting a bad case of sunburn. Okay, Astro. We're out of danger now. Study on standard hyperdrive. Captain Strong, am I glad to see you, sir.
No more than I am to see you in this control deck again.
Much as I hate to say it, your ugly mug looks awful good to me, boy.
The pleasure is mutual,
You did a
TJ.
nice job, Tom. You and Astro. I never thought
Well,
we'd...
excuse me, sir, but Monroe deserves the credit.
Monroe?
Yeah, but I thought, well, the projectile...
Well, he managed to get aboard the Polaris safely.
Well, how could he?
Well, he was lucky, sir, and if he hadn't been with us, if he hadn't risked his life to couple the Polaris to the projectile, why, you and TJ wouldn't be here now.
Yeah, who'd have thought it?
Where is he now?
Below with Astro.
Get him up here, will you?
Right.
The laboratory isn't the best place for the academy. Not at all. Any place that can produce a guy like you has got to be all right.
No. The unit's the important thing. Guys like you and Tom and TJ.
I tell you, we're just rocket jockeys. You, but what am I? I'm just a brain.
Well, there you are, sir. You asked for it. I think you've got it. Cooperation.
Every Saturday morning, the makers of Kraft Caramels take you to the world beyond tomorrow. Don't forget to be with us for next week's exciting adventure of Tom Corbett's Space Cadet. Starring Frankie Thomas and featuring Al Markham and Jack Grimes.
Well done, Star Cadets! The first phase of our mission was a rousing success! Captain Paxar's Star Cadet Hour will be back in a moment!
Welcome back, Star Cadets. I, Captain Paxar, will now brief you on the second phase of our mission. Scott McCloud, otherwise known as Space Angel, must track a very dangerous and very mysterious asteroid. Stand by for action as Space Angel faces visitors from outer space.
Blast off for another exciting adventure in outer space with Scott McCloud, Space Angel, in the story of The Visitor from Outer Space. Of all the many dangers involved in space navigation, one of the worst is uncharted asteroids. These deadly missiles from outer space can destroy even the largest cargo ship. Therefore, it is of the utmost importance that they be charted upon the space charts of the solar system. It's Eros, all right. 5 miles thick and nearly 15 miles long. Its true course has never been plotted.
Didn't it nearly collide with her once, Professor?
It came dangerously close once. That was in 1931. It seems to be on a new orbit now.
Don't all asteroids follow a fixed orbit?
Not Eros. No one has been able to chart her accurately. It's almost as though she has a mind of her own. Don't most women? I have a theory about the erratic behavior of Eros.
What's that, Professor?
If I'm not mistaken, that asteroid has a small gravity field. This could account for her change in course. Makes sense, Skipper.
Why, yes. If Eros passed a planet like Earth in her orbit, she'd be slightly attracted.
She seems to have a life all her own. And amazingly enough, Eros is growing. And that I don't understand. Scott, based on this information, how about going out and charting her new course?
We should be able to intercept it in the area of the Van Allen belt. We'll blast off immediately.
Clear the tube for blast off.
Strapped in, gang?
Go here.
Aye, Skipper.
Launch control. We're ready for countdown.
Roger, Starduster. Control ready and counting.
Reactors, go.
Umbilical, go.
Cabin pressure, go.
Tube doors opening.
Angle of blast 230, vector 4.
Correcting angle.
Trajectory, go.
AB temperature, go.
Increasing power. How's the angle, Chris?
Trajectory perfect. Acceleration 15 units.
Okay, kids, man your stations and let's see if we can find that frisky asteroid.
Scott, the Evening Star is trying to contact us on channel 37.
Right, Chris. Starduster here. What's up, Professor Mace?
Scott, there are heavy sunspot eruptions taking place. That means increased radiation in the Van Allen belts. Watch the radiation count closely. You may have to change your point of rendezvous with Eros.
Don't see how we can, Professor. If your theory is right, Eros will change course when it reaches the Van Allen belt. We'll have to pick it up on the other side or take the chance of missing completely.
Well, don't risk your life going through that belt. If the radiation gets too hot, turn back.
Okay, Professor, we'll be careful. Starduster out.
Evening Star out. We are approaching the outer belt now, Skipper.
Chris, How much radiation?
4.4. Not much higher than usual.
We'll be through it before we can do any harm.
What's the danger point, Skipper?
10 even. If we're exposed too long. Give us a reading, Chris.
9.3 and rising. 9.4. 9.5.
How about it, Skipper?
Brace yourselves, kids. We're blasting out of here.
Scott, the radiation is still on the increase. It's 9.9.
Something's wrong.
Cosmic disturbance dead ahead, Skipper.
10 and still rising, Scott.
The Starduster is being exposed to extremely dangerous radioactivity. What will happen to Scott and his friends? Don't miss the next exciting episode of Space Angel. Blast off for another exciting adventure in outer space with Scott McCloud, Space Angel, in the story of The Visitor from Outer Space. Last time, Scott, Taurus, and Crystal blasted off, heading for the asteroid Eros in order to chart its course. As they flew through the Van Allen radiation belt, the Starduster was exposed to extremely dangerous radioactivity.
Give us a radiation reading, Chris.
11.3 and still rising.
We can't ride through this much longer.
There's our call signal. Must be Professor Mace. Starduster here. Come in, Professor.
What's wrong out there, Scott? My tracking instruments record high radiation.
They read right. Our radiation reading is over maximum safety limits.
What is your reading at the moment?
Reading, Chris.
12 even. Still going up.
That's bad business, Scott. Don't take any chances. Get into the radiation chamber and ride this out. The sunspots must have created a solar storm. Those are solar flare particles we're dealing with.
Roger, Professor. Out here. I'm setting the Starduster on automatic. Everybody into the radiation chamber.
Well, boot Eros, Skipper. Aren't we getting close?
Can't worry about that. We've already been dangerously exposed to radiation.
Well, come on, slowpokes. You're just asking for trouble. We're safe here. Radiation factor reads negative.
Hard to believe she's sizzling outside.
All we've got to worry about is the possibility of meeting Eros head-on.
We'll never know it, Skipper. Not in here.
Now, that's a nice, cheery little thought.
Our velocity was 1,000 space units. At that rate of speed, we should be able to pass through this stuff in another 5 units.
With Eros closing on us, that's a mighty long time, Skipper.
Right. The ARI will tell us when it's safe to leave this chamber.
What's the matter, lass? You look all in.
I don't know what's the matter. Oh, I feel so drowsy.
Oh, that's a woman for you, Skipper. Right in the middle of... They fall asleep. Who must be catching?
There's something wrong here. It's beginning to affect me. Great Scott. The oxygen. Can't be right. Oxygen is normal. But something's definitely wrong. I must stay awake.
Evening star to Starduster. Evening star to Starduster. Come in, Scott. Come in, Scott. They're in the radiation chamber. But surely Scott would switch on the auxiliary speaker in there. Evening star to Starduster. Come in, Scott. Come in, Scott. Scott, Crystal. Crystal, are you all right? What's happened?
Oxygen okay, but I just can't figure this out. Why we can't breathe. Our CO2 converter system. The circulator's out. Warning lamp failed us. We're breathing our own exhale. We could have suffocated.
Skipper, what happened?
We were asleep. Hold it, Scott. Listen.
Our converter fan was off. In free fall, our breath just hung around us. It had no place to go.
Evening Star, calling Starduster. Scott, Crystal, come in, please. Calling Scott McCloud. Come in, please. This is Professor Mace.
Professor Mace, sorry for the delay. Had a little trouble here. Okay now.
Scott, I can't locate Eros. Terrible interference.
Was she still on course when you lost contact?
Yes, but that was some time ago.
You better work fast. We're approaching rendezvous. Taurus, check environment.
Aye, Skipper. Outside radiation approaching normal, Skipper.
Good. Let's get back to our stations. Now remember, Taurus, we just want to find Eros. We don't want to hit it.
I got you, Skipper, but I can't see anything out there anywhere but space. Still not a thing, Skipper.
Chris?
Negative. I've scanned the whole sector and she's simply not around.
I can't understand it. Eros has to be somewhere in the vicinity of Earth.
That asteroid is awfully fickle, Skipper. Maybe she decided to visit Mars instead.
Hold it, Taurus. Here's Professor Mace. Come in, Professor.
I've picked her up, Scott. Eros is in orbit around the moon. When she hit that cosmic storm, she must have been deflected on a tangent.
No wonder we couldn't find her.
The Earth was blocking our scanner.
Circling the moon, eh? See, Skipper, I told you she was fickle. Eros is in a tight elliptical orbit and very unstable. She's a real menace to space traffic in that area, Scott.
We'll get right over there, Professor. Out here.
Moon dead ahead, Skipper. No coming into view. No Eros, though.
Probably around the back. There she comes now. The professor wasn't kidding. That asteroid is in a tight orbit.
Now, that's the darndest thing I've ever seen, Skipper. Her orbital pattern changes each time around. What do you think, lad?
One thing for sure, Taurus. It's blocking every approach to the moon.
A pilot would be out of his mind if he tried to land on it.
Know what I think, Skipper? Charting that crazy asteroid is a waste of time.
You're right. Chris, get me Professor Mace.
Yes, Scott, right away.
That's right, Professor. Eros cannot be charted.
Then we really have no choice, Scott. We've got to get rid of her.
I read you, Professor. Out here. Have you heard the Professor? We're going to have to get rid of Eros.
Good idea, Skipper. But first, we've got to catch her.
Then hang on, gang. The fireworks are about to start.
At ease, Star Cadets! Captain Paxar's Star Cadet Hour will be back in a moment! Stand by for action, Star Cadets! We now return to Captain Paxar's Star Cadet Hour!
The fireworks are about to start. What's our range, Chris?
300 astroleagues, Scott.
And closing in fast, Skipper. There goes Eros. She's holding pretty steady now.
Stand by. I'm going to try to match her course and speed.
Eros, dead ahead, Skipper. Skipper, look out! Eros is erupting.
Volcanic blasts. Hang on. Emergency. Full speed. All engines. Where's Eros?
She is headed for the moon. Holy cow, it's bounced off.
Hang on. Eros has a new course.
Good heavens, she's headed towards Earth.
Oh, no. We've got to stop it.
A wild asteroid plunging through space. Can Scott prevent Eros from colliding with Earth? Don't miss the next exciting episode of Space Angel. Blast off for another exciting adventure in outer space with Scott McCloud, Space Angel, in the story of The Visitor from Outer Space. Last time, Scott, Taurus, and Crystal had located the erratic asteroid in orbit around the moon. It was decided that Eros could not be charted and was a real menace to space traffic, so it must be destroyed. As they closed in on the asteroid, Eros erupted and, changing course, headed straight for Earth.
We're gaining on that wild asteroid.
Uh-oh. There go those blasted jets again, Skipper.
She's changing course, Scott. Almost 45 degrees.
Chris, get me Professor Mace. That asteroid's now gone completely wild.
Right, Scott. Stardust are calling the Evening Star.
That's it, Professor. No telling what Eros will do next. We've got a volcanic asteroid on our hands.
That's very serious, Scott. Those blasts coming from Eros could force her into one of the planets, maybe hit a city.
Scott, Eros is changing course again. Good golly. She's going into Vector 6, headed directly for the Evening Star.
Professor Mace, Eros is now heading for the Evening Star.
I know, Scott. My radar scope's warning system is at work. She's getting awfully close, son.
No! Eros must have struck the Evening Star. Dad! Oh, Dad!
Professor Mace, are you all right? Come in, please. Are you all right, Professor? Come in. Good grief, there she is. Look at that.
What a mess.
Dad has to be okay. He has to be.
Hold it. I think this is the professor. He's coming in on audio.
Hello, Starduster. This is Evening Star.
He's on the emergency frequency.
This is Professor Mace. Come in, Scott.
It's Dad. Oh, thank heavens.
Go ahead, Professor.
I'm okay. Eros just brushed us. The Evening Star was shaken up a bit. Oh, we'll be okay, Scott. We're repairing the damage now. You get that asteroid before she does any more damage.
Will do, Professor. Out here.
She's lined up, Skipper.
Stand by to drop thermal package. Chris, open hatch.
Right, Scott. Hatch open.
She's down, lad.
I'll make this as quick as possible. As soon as I activate that firecracker, I'll get out for Eros. We'll rendezvous as planned.
Be careful, Scott.
Watch out for that asteroid, Skipper. She's tricky.
Stand by to launch spacecraft. About to arm bomb.
Hurry, Skipper. That asteroid can change course at any time.
There. She's activated. Taurus, I'm ready to head back.
erupt again, Skipper. Get off! Get off!
Space Dark's gone.
He's stranded, Chris. Scott can't get off Eros.
Skipper, are you okay? Come in, lad.
All right for the moment, Taurus. Things are getting rough.
Stand by, lad. We're coming for you.
No, you old bull. No sense all of us getting it. Stay out of here. That's an order.
Skipper, this is one time I'm glad to disobey an order. Now, if we don't make it in time, you can court-martial me.
Lower the bosun's chair, Chris.
Right, Taurus. Chair down, Taurus.
Good girl, Chris. The skipper's climbing in. Now, if we can get him aboard
before that bomb goes off.
Okay, here, Taurus. Go ahead.
Gotcha, Skipper. Hang on. Easy does it, Chris.
Scott's lost in space.
Quick! Get him on the radar scope. Pinpoint his position.
Radar scope activated. It's no use, Taurus. I'm picking up debris from Eros. I can't tell which blip is Scott.
Hang on, girl. I'm going after him.
Starduster, get in, please. It's no use. My transmitter's out.
That's about it, Professor. Scott's adrift somewhere out there.
Taurus, I think we can get a fix on Scott through triangulation.
Use his environment indicator and set your course.
I'll do the same from here. Chris, stand by to chart his position.
Right, Dad. Start anytime. I found him, Taurus.
We found him, Professor. Contact later and thanks. Out here.
Stand by retros, Chris. I've spotted the skipper on the viewer.
He's indicating his transmitter's out, Chris.
Prepare to pick him up. Stand by, the skipper's A-OK.
There's Eros now, heading right for the sun.
She's gone, Scott.
What she could have done to space navigation.
A real temperamental little gal, Skipper.
A devil of a gal, if you ask me.
Hey, I've got an idea. Why don't we take a short cruise around the planet Cambria?
Now, if that isn't a silly idea, it would take us weeks.
Any particular reason, you old bull?
Well, after that collision Eros had with the Evening Star, there's an awful lot of work waiting for us when we get back. I was kind of hoping we'd miss it.
And so ends the story of The Visitor from Outer Space. Don't miss the next exciting adventure with Scott McCloud, Space Angel.
Great job, Star Cadets! The Captain will debrief you in a moment when Captain Paxar's Star Cadet Hour returns!
Mission accomplished, Star Cadets. You've all served with valor and honor. Tom Corbett, Space Cadet, Space Angel, and I, Captain Paxar of the Interdimensional Peace Force, salute you. You may now stand down until the appointed time coordinates, when we will again undertake a daring mission through time, space, and alternate dimension. Until then, Star Cadets, always remember, keep the peace.